Yes, boys, how is everyone? Hope everyone is doing well, and welcome to another weekly breakdown and forecast video. I think these ones seem to be doing the best out of all the videos that I do, education ones. These ones seem to be doing the best. I don't know if that's because, you know, you get to see the realism of what trading and trader's lifestyle is like. Look, this is probably going to be one of the realist ones because we suffered a few losses last week, and I'm going to go through them. I'm going to go through the reason why I stopped my trading week around Wednesday due to the losses, and the kind of mindset behind it. Now, I feel like I got a lot of people messaging me on Instagram, Telegram, asking how to cope and deal with losses, you know, what my mindset behind it is, and this, that, and the other. And look, it's pretty simple. If you believe that you are going to come into this and not endure losses, then you need to find a completely different work job, because you will endure losses, weeks, months, sometimes even years with this craft. At the end of the day, nothing is 100% guaranteed in this at all. This is why I always promote to people, if you want to get into something that is a little bit more safer and guaranteed, trading is not the one. Trading, you will endure the ups and downs, and at the end of the day, it's how you kind of deal with the downs that define you as a trader. You know, I thought last week, after I'd done my weekly forecast, you know, there was a few setups that I talked about on Sunday last week that actually came through. A few people took, I think it was GBP JPY longs. They took that, and the GA setup that I had envisioned playing out on, I think it was Monday. But we'll go over those. I literally only traded gold, GJ, and GA on the 2 days that I was trading in the markets. Before and during the losses, you know, the market was sending me here, there, and everywhere, and even had my head a little bit, you know, scuffed up, and also made me close early on a setup that would have actually hit take profit, all take profits. But it is what it is. Some people didn't actually close when I said to close, and they, you know, ended up getting the take profits come through. But yeah, as soon as it sort of felt like the market was playing with me emotional wise, I stopped trading for the week. Reason because all I will do then is make further mistakes. Better to just reset the next week. Leave the week to play out, leave the markets to do what it needs to do that week, and then reevaluate and go again the following week. There is no problem in that. At the end of the day, you know, you have to look at the stats. If I'm hitting more losses than wins, given that I only took 4 trades and 3 of those were losses, or 4 or 5 trades, 3 of those were losses or whatever, that's enough for me to just go, right, this is not my week this week. I'm going to stop and I'm going to just do my own thing, chill out. Maybe, you know, I need some time away from the markets or whatever this week. Just chill out, go do something else, which is what I did, and come back fresh on Monday and go again. So we'll go over the setups that I had, and, you know, what I see for the up and coming week. So I've already just got rid of all the stuff that was on my gold charts. I'll probably leave gold till the end to do, but at the moment, look, even last week regarding an actual trading week wasn't the best of weeks anyway. You know, EU, yes, we broke out of this consolidation box, but we consolidated from Tuesday through to Friday. If you look at this area here, it is consolidation. There is not a lot of movement there in this 4 day period of trading. It did its move on Monday, broke out, you know, broke to the downside, and then it has just literally been consolidating around, you know, the imbalance that I have marked out here. So we are in this area, but when we talk about imbalances, and I've said this on the imbalance video, this is where normally a projection of volume should come in to the markets, because imbalances are caused by a lot of volume being left and needing to be picked up. But EU hasn't shown that. There hasn't been a dip down into this and then a strong bullish momentum candle to the upside to show that orders have been filled, picked up, and we're back on up to the upside. So EU at the moment, I'm kind of just staying away from GBP USD and USD pairs in general. I had this little imbalance area marked out for a potential continuation to the downside. You can see we broke out this trend line, but we haven't actually come back to retest it. But we have also now created, what we could kind of say is a downtrend line here. So again, we'll wait to see if we've got one or two scenarios breaking up out of the trend line or breaking down. So even this sort of thing here looks pretty scruffy, but we're wanting to see if the price breaks this low here or breaks this high here. So if we break up, bounce retest of 127, we're up at 127 support, previous support, now resistance, testing it as resistance. So if it is a strong level of resistance, then we are going to continue to the downside, potentially filling this imbalance down here, as we still haven't. But we did tap into this area, if you can see. We tapped into this area, big 4-hour bullish engulfing candle, but very, it just kind of got up and then, immediately came back down. So DXY, for some reason at the moment, it seems to be pretty indecisive what's going on. There seems to be a lot of good, bad news coming out for the DXY, which is sending it here, there, and everywhere. This whole area here is, it is pretty much consolidating market. It's trading within an area of, I'd say only about 200 pip area, which obviously isn't small. If you can bounce it about between the levels, you're making 200 pips, but it's not showing any direction, continuation to the upside or continuation to the downside. So that to me just means that it's an indecisive market and we're needing to stay out of it. GBP AUD, now look, this was, I don't know if I actually put the long positions in on the video last week on Sunday, but I did put it in the group. I put it in the Telegram group. So yeah, in the actual chart work section, look, of the group, I actually put this out, and this was on, let's see, January 13th. So I think it was around Monday that I put this actual chart work out. This was the setup, basically based off of a simple, I think it was on the 15-minute. I had a 15-minute order block area here, which I can probably show you on the actual chart. Go down to the 15-minute over here. Yeah, so we had this 15-minute order block here, which is, I talked about kind of order blocks a little bit, not only because I don't know the whole technical side of it. I know how to see them and I know how to view them, and I know how to kind of trade off of them. But explaining the reason why, it's just a point of entry, or a POI, point of interest. Order blocks are created like that, and you can normally indicate them by the down and up candle, as in bearish candle, bullish candle pretty much takes out the previous bearish candle. So that was based off of that, and we simply tapped into that area and take profit, or the setup 1 was hit, and then setup 2 was hit. But this leads me on to the setup that I was looking for on the retracement. Now, I said this in previous videos, there is no such thing as a perfect entry. I thought, based on my analysis and view of the market, we had this come off of, I think it was GBP inflation. Inflation is up, so GBP has gained its strength. But we started to resist around 193.500, okay? And I was pretty certain after seeing these two bearish candles come in that volume was, buyers were taking out profits and sellers were about to jump back in. And this was the setup that I sent out based off of, these small indecisive rejectional candles, boom, boom, rejection, rejection. And then this momentum came back in. We were already in this trade. I thought, okay, maybe it's filling these imbalances on the lower end, on the 5 minute. There was an imbalance that, okay, maybe it's just going to tap into this imbalance here and then it's going to continue. But it didn't. It literally didn't. All it did was go up, tap into stop loss, then drop, and then this candle happened on Asia session where it just whipped out, which is obviously a fake out to the upside to wipe out early sellers. And that's what GA can be like. GA can be a little bitch and just go and, throw a lot of manipulation. And then look, then it dropped. So it's one of those. As soon as I kind of seen that was the last trade that I got into. And that's what happened. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to take my leave. This is obviously not a good trading week for me. Missed setups that would have been, perfect, 228 pip move right there, but it is what it is. I can take all this stuff off anyway now. And what could potentially come of GA over next week? Again, we've got some indications here that we could be waiting for. Let's just remove all of this. Let's get rid of that now. So daily, look, we've produced what I would call a bit of a evening star on the daily time frame. So evening star, you already know, is a what I would call a reversal indication, i.e. buyers have come out, sellers are about to drop back in. We've also got Friday's day closing below Thursday's low, so that's quite a good indication as well that we will be continuing to go further down. Let's take a fib. If GBP AUD has made its potential, momentum back to the upside, to fill, I can't even remember where the target was. That's just a lot of days pushing to the upside to now, we should have a potential reversal. On the weekly time frame as well, again spiked into this imbalance here, around 194, just above 194, which I said in previous breakdown videos needed to be tapped into. So that is, that's another indication that we have tapped in. We have pretty much filled this imbalance area here. So on the fib side, we could go on the reversal side. That is tapping into the 50% or the 61. But regardless of that, even from the daily on the fib side, I'd be looking for, if we are going to continue this upside momentum, then I'm looking for potentially around, let's say, around 189 has kind of been the support level that was broken before us kind of being back in. So I'd be looking for this area to be retested again, as it was a solid level of support for a while. Then we broke it. I mean, it's very choppy, GA, but you get used to seeing it very choppy like this. Broke this level of support, and we've come back down and broken back above. So maybe looking to see us retest 189 again. Let's take that out of the equation and that out of the equation. So yes, we've got our daily for me, I'd like to see the week again start to push down. The weekly imbalance over here at 188. So that would be an area of where I would like to see price push back down to. But we did close above previous week's high. So that again, we've got to take into account. But on the daily side, let's see what we can see. I mean, look, there was a very bearish engulfing 4-hour candle, which to me has broken the uptrend. So again, I'd like to see price push back into this area of imbalance here at least. This area here, to then be targeting back down. I'd say to, yeah, where the weekly imbalance is around this area, 188. That would be my target level. And again, this could a tap into 193 at least. I think 193 needs to be will be retested. So I'd be looking for something around the lines of this, like this kind of mock up. Stops just below, above this high here. But this is just, like I said, some mock up. And then targeting 188, I'd say. 188 would be my overall kind of area to be targeting. It's a very, very big 500 pip move, but I know GA can move like that very, very quickly. So that would be something that I'd be looking at on GA. We're very, very close to Friday's low here as well. So, you know, again, it's one of those, GA likes to move in Asia session as well as London session. So it's whether or not that will be, I will put an alarm here for this sort of area. Add an alert, that sort of area for us to potentially go in shorts. AUD USD. This is potentially, you know, look, again, we were waiting for this imbalance area to be filled. Still hasn't. AUD USD, I'd sent out a setup. I actually told people to close at entry because, again, it was outside of my trading session that I thought this setup was going to take place. Then I wasn't prepared to hold it overnight. So I actually told people to close at entry. And it did actually break straight through and then continue to the downside. So again, AUD USD, you know, I think it's going to continue to the downside anyway. I don't feel like, I mean, we've got a bit of a double bottom happening here on the daily. So we've got equal lows, which for me, AUD USD will flush out before it does anything. So we've got equal lows here. So I'm not looking to take a sell on AUD USD until it at least gets down to, I'd say, yeah, probably around 164.500 or 16400. So around this area. So again, alarm set there. You know, on the retracement side, we could retest 166.5, so maybe a retest of this area here, a retest of this area here, but then we have got an imbalance just above as well. So it's again having to wait and see if, I mean, we've broken below 0.66. So that was our previous kind of resistance level. Then previous resistance level, which we broke through. So now it is waiting to see how it reacts. I personally think that it will come back up to retest 66.500. Then, you know, a potential short position. Then targeting into this imbalance area down here. I mean, I've got my alarm set for it there anyway, so I'm prepared to leave that. GBP JPY back up at, you know, all-time highs at 188. So again, this was all backed off of JPY being weak as fuck again. It doesn't seem to be able to keep its momentum on the strong side. So all these markers here, I need to definitely revisit my chart work. How do we end the weekly? Yeah, weekly closing below this this area of 188, which is where it's been. You know, it just seems to, it can't seem to break 180. Can't seem to break 180 and continue to the downside. It seems to be just ranging within this. It's an 800 pip area, but ranging around this kind of 180 to 188 area. So, you know, evening star on the daily, which is, you know, a kind of indecisive. I think for me, potentially staying out of this Monday. 4 hour, I mean, look, buyers kind of pulled out, took profits there. So, you know, realistically, I'd probably see this. I'd see this high taken before. Actually, is it quite? It's quite close to the low, isn't it? No. Yeah, Friday's low is only there. So that's the, you know, the high of the day on Friday, and the low is just there. So that's the low. You know, hour time frame. Refine these. It's a bit sloppy at the moment. Yeah, I mean, maybe tap into this again. But I feel like if we push into this area, it makes sense for price to try and retest this high anyway. So it would be something, or waiting and having a look. I will put in a mark there. I feel like GBP is going to have a bit of a sell-off coming soon, maybe next week. So that, you know, would be my thesis on GBP JPY, and also I'd like to see it break this uptrends that we've been in for a good, you know, beginning of the month, beginning of January, we've been in this uptrend to the upside. So yeah, I'd like to see roll into there, break, retest, continuation to the downside. We've got a lot of areas to fill on this upside. USD JPY, same sort of thing with JPYs. USD JPY is obviously going off the back of, you know, the strength of the DXY anyway. So again, USD JPY hovering around, you know, we want to see when it's areas like this, I just normally kind of box out where I can see consolidation playing out. So this area here, a break from either side, because at the moment there's no real indication. Look, you could have said, all right, well, buyers have pulled out, imbalance has been filled here, but there's been no continuation. It's just gone back to kind of very small accumulating price. So a break of either one, you know, okay, mini trend line there, like on the hour, mini trend line. You know, if we break back above, okay, maybe we're going to push into 149. But yeah, it's just a bit sloppy. USD JPY, Euro JPY, same sort of deal. Look, I had this ascending channel on the 4 hour. You know, it's tapped back in, broken actually out of this imbalance, so that I'd kind of get rid of. So we've broken out of this imbalance, and on the upside, there's still potentially an imbalance to be filled around 162, this area here. Around there, could we see price push into there first before rolling over? Maybe. But yeah, I mean, JPY pairs, we've got what we got coming up. Interest rate on the 23rd. So I'd be waiting to see how the interest rate comes out, and that is on Tuesday. So Asia session Tuesday, could potentially see whether or not JPY is going to jump in and be a little bit stronger than what it has been. And gold, right? We'll talk about gold, what I went through last week, the setups that we were in. Let's have a look. Did I send out any gold chart work? I don't think I did. No, that was GA. That was me very pissed off that it just went straight through. I think my gold setups were okay. So first gold buy was 49 to 46, which was on Monday. 49 to 46. Yeah, this was around this area here. And we completely, I think it was me just seeing price kind of resisting this area again, and almost this bullish momentum candle that took out the previous 1 and 2 candles. This was pre-London session trade that I took, so I was only targeting sort of the highs of Monday, but it didn't end up coming through, and it completely broke down. What's the one that I got out of that I should have held? I think it was this here. This here, my entry price was around what was it? Gold sell here. 2019 to 2024. 2019 to 2024, which was around here that we had this bearish momentum candle here, which, you know, realistically took out all of this accumulation here, pushed back down. So I was like, right, I'll wait for the retest, and we pushed into it. 2019 to 2024, that was the area that I was looking at sells, and then it just went static for, you know, 4 or 5 hours. And what made me actually say to people to close was, I think this candle here, I just said, look, close around entry price. It dicked around, and then, yeah, it just sold off. My overall target was, look, TP 2005, and it would have hit 2005, and we closed. But after that, I was just like, no, do you know what? I'm leaving. I'm staying out of gold for the rest of the week, and staying off the charts for the rest of the week, and just let it do its thing. But I know a few people got in for a little bit of a sell on Friday, which I can go through. You know, an order block here, what I would call an hourly order block, was created there. Money came in, money came out, and price tapped into that, filling the imbalance over here as well, before then pulling off short. I'm still targeting the downside. For me, you still got a lot of this area to be filled down here. I still feel like this is, you know, to be filled. Fib, we could take it from the high to the low here, and we are tapping into the 61.8. Lower time frame wise, let's have a look if there's anything on the lower time frame. Lower time frame wise, there's not a lot of, where I would say, entry points. So again, we've got the low of Friday and the high of Friday. We're kind of just in the middle. So for me, I'd have to see how Monday or Asia plays out Monday. Let it create its high and its low, see where it's close to. Perhaps potentially if Asia pushes up and creates its high here, then I'll be waiting for another tap into this area here. I think personally, if I'm looking to go short, I'll wait for Asia to play out, create its high, create its low, and, you know, say if its low is its high is created around this area, then realistically, I know that, you know, London session will probably take high, and the high of Asia and the high of US, and then tap into this area. Potentially even, look, we've got this area up here, area of imbalance, to be tapped into, potentially aligning with 2047, 2050, to then take it again back down. So again, Monday, see how Monday plays out. But that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of, you know, I haven't done a lot of overall market analysis for last week just because I decided to stay out of the markets. But yeah, Euro USD pairs I'm kind of just staying out of. If I'm looking for GBP to sell off on GA and GJ, then I'd be looking for a sell off on GU as well. So GU could potentially play out, but Monday, wait for this consolidation area to just be, you know, broken out of. Euro USD, same sort of thing. Area. I mean, look, I've got my alarm set for here for a retest into this imbalance here, but it's horrible looking price action. Personally, look at all of this wicks to the downside, and these are on the hourly time frame, so it's just not very nice price action. So yeah, pretty much just wait and see. Do the usual, wait and see what Monday plays out, and, you know, go from there kind of thing. But yeah, guys, I know that's probably not a lot, but some weeks can be like that, and some end of the weeks, you know, going into the next week, doing your analysis and stuff might not always be clear what the market is doing. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, moving forward for next week, again, it is just waiting to see how Monday plays out, and going off of that, and just being reactive to the markets, basically. You know, you've got to be reactive to some aspect when it comes to price action. If you see a big bearish momentum candle come into the markets, then, you know, that means volume's coming back in, so you need to be reactive off of that. But yeah, in regards to dealing with losses, guys, I probably will do another video on emotions and stuff like that, because I've seen a lot of it last week. Whenever losses happen, this is where people's true colors come out, and I will do a video on how to deal with emotions. And if you feel like you are, you know, over emotional about it, then you shouldn't be doing this whatsoever. But that is pretty much the end of the video, guys, and I will speak to you in the next one.